So I've been using the iPhone 11 for over 4 days now, and I'm ready to give you guys my review. Now, first things first, I want to talk about the design of the iPhone 11. If you're coming from the iPhone XR, you're going to feel right at home with this one. You have a glass back design, anodized aluminium frame, and you even have a frosted glass on the camera module. And overall, it looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. And I think the red one is a good color, and you're doing a good cause too. Now the camera module, it doesn't look as ugly as the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It kind of works well on the iPhone XR because it's just whoop, it's one line down. The Apple logo is moved to the center of the phone and it works really well. It actually looks a little bit more neater. And Apple did remove the iPhone text on the bottom. So the only thing you have is the product red. But of course, if you get the red iPhone, you're gonna get this product red tag there. You have a lot of colors to choose from with the iPhone 11. You have white, you have black, you have red, you have yellow, you have green, and you have that lavender purple color. So you have a lot of colors to choose from. If you look at the iPhone 11 Pro, this entire back is made out of frosted, and then you have the glass here. So it's actually inverted compared to the two phones here. So it's really cool. I actually like the glossed material, but you are going to get those fingerprints depending on what color you get. So if you get the black one, you're probably going to suffer by some fingerprints. But the red one, it doesn't really show it too much. If you hold it over the right light, and maybe you can. Now the phone is a little bit on the heavy side. It's not too heavy. So it's like about 6.84 ounces or 194 grams. But if you compare that to the 11 Pro Max, the 11 Pro Max is definitely a lot more heavier than the iPhone 11. I do prefer stainless steel frame instead of the aluminium frame on the side here. So the iPhone 11 Pro is it's more grippier. Aluminium is just a little bit more slippier. Like, I just feel like it's going to slip out my hand a lot more frequent. Talking about the display real quick, which is very, very controversial to this day. It's featuring the Liquid Retina HD display. It's a 6.1 inch display, and it has a 1792 by 828 pixels resolution. So, and it's only 326 ppi. So you're getting a far more better display on the Pro models compared to the regular 11. And that's due to the fact how this is only an LCD display. It's a low resolution, but if you go into the store, the display doesn't look bad at all. It actually looks pretty good. Apple is known for making excellent LCD displays. So now the first thing I noticed when I boot up the iPhone 11 was just the bezels. The bezels is a lot more bigger compared to the iPhone 10 or even the 11 Pro Max. But honestly, if this is your first iPhone or you're coming from the iPhone 8, you're not going to really see the difference anyway. And if you're coming from the iPhone 10, you want to upgrade to the iPhone 11, which I don't know why you want to do that to yourself. The screen size is going to be pretty much identical in my opinion. If you hold it side by side in terms of just the screen size, it's going to be kind of similar. But the screen quality, the display, we're talking about OLED versus LCD. And it's literally a day and night difference. I'm going to play a little video on the iPhone 11. I don't have an iPhone XR, but it's the same exact display. Now I am working on a side-by-side comparison, so make sure you guys subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on. I'm going to be comparing the iPhone 10, the iPhone 11, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Alright, so here's my LA video, maximum brightness. I'm going to have it full screen and maximum volume. Alright. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, how's the screen quality? And honestly, on camera is not going to do any justice. You have to go into the Apple store, just see it in person and see it side by side. But the screen quality on the iPhone 11 is not bad. if you don't compare it to the iPhone 11 Pro Max or the iPhone 11 Pro regular. So in terms of the nits, this has a 625 nits of maximum brightness. So the higher the nits you have, the more brighter the display is. The iPhone 11 Pro has a 800 nits. So the screen is going to be a little bit more brighter on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now it is IP68, water resistant, dust resistant, and splash resistant. So it's go all the way up to 2 meters for 30 minutes. Not bad, but the iPhone 11 Pro, it goes up to 4 meters. So I hate to be going back to the iPhone 11 Pro, but you got to understand the price difference. This is $300 difference. So this is $700 starting, but the iPhone 11 Pro is $1,000. But if you're buying this for a kid, or if you're buying this for a grandma, this is even for a grandma, like, this is insane. This is powerful, but this is not bad. You guys see I have the matching Apple Watch band with it. It's not the same exact red, but I tried. I just reviewed the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and that was the best, camera on the smartphone that I ever reviewed. And this one here is no slouch. And you don't really need a telephoto lens. That's the only lens you're missing here. You have your wide angle and you have your ultra wide angle. That ultra wide angle is a game changer. You can get more content in the shot. That's a good Apple for adding that on the cheap or the base iPhone 11. They could have just given us the telephoto and give us a regular lens. Like, that would have sucked. Now you pretty much have the same exact cameras as the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max for the most part. You have a 12 megapixel camera on both cameras and even on the front facing camera, and it can go all the way up to 4K 60 frames per second. And even on the front facing camera, that is just insane. The ultra wide angle has a 2.4 aperture and the wide is a 1.8. Now the lower the aperture, the better the picture is, and that's something I realized taking selfies. You still want to use the rear shooter, even though it's the same exact resolution and same exact megapixels. It's the aperture. The aperture on the front-facing camera is a 2.2 compared to a 1.8. So even though you can shoot 4K 60 frames per second using the front-facing camera, you still want to use that rear for the, a little bit more better quality. I wish Apple would include the camera settings in the camera application. So instead of you going into the settings and then looking for the camera option, it's too much time to do that. Just add it into the camera application and done. And one thing that's new for me is stereo sound. Coming from an iPhone 10, which we didn't have stereo microphones, this is a big leap compared to mono. It's hard to believe Apple was having a mono microphone in 2017. Like, it was introduced on the iPhone 10s and 10s Max. Now, one thing insane about these new iPhones is the night mode. I mean, the night mode is just fantastic. I mean, the quality. If you look at the sky on this picture here, look at the sky. And I know the camera is not going to do any justice here, but the sky on this thing is just insane. It looks just like that. It's not all black. It's like a little bit of a gradient. Like, the iPhone was able to catch those details. Now, real quick, I want to talk about the performance. Same thing like the iPhone 11 Pro Max. You do have 4 gigabytes of RAM. The more RAM you have, the more memory on the application. So you can open up 20 applications, and then you could go back to that application that you opened up earlier, and it's still going to remember it. Now, that's just having more RAM in general. Now, Apple tends to cheap out on the RAM just because of iOS. iOS is so optimized to the point where you don't need to have too much RAM on iOS because Apple fine-tuned it, to have RAM management. So if you're coming from the iPhone XR, this is actually an upgrade because you guys had 3 gigabytes of RAM, and now you have 4 gigabytes just like the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the iPhone 11 Pro. Now, you do have that A13 Bionic chip. Apple is really focusing on energy efficiency compared to performance, and that definitely does show it. It is only 20% faster than the already good A12 chip, and the battery life is 25% larger batteries on all iPhone models, so you're significantly getting 1 more hour of battery life on the iPhone 11 compared to the iPhone XR or XR. So in terms of power and efficiency, Apple has that completely down lock on these new iPhones. You're not going to be disappointed in terms of the performance and the battery life. The battery life is significantly improved. I try to use this iPhone as much as I can, and going out taking pictures, I use my camera 43% of the time. I watch YouTube videos, I go on Instagram, I play music, and of course my battery capacity is at 100%. Now iOS 13 is a little bit on the glitchy side, but Apple is refining iOS 13 with consistent updates. iOS 13.1 was literally released today by Apple. Apple is not playing around when it comes down to system updates. Stay consistent with it, and they want to refine the user experience and make it more better. All right, so conclusion, final thoughts. This is really only a camera and a performance and battery life upgrade. So if you have the iPhone XR, it's going to be exactly the same. So there's no screen improvements, there's no higher resolution. It's just literally the camera, the faster processor, efficiency. That might even be worth the upgrade for you. But for me, I'll try to hold off until next year. Next year is going to be a significant upgrade, trust me. And, you know, there's rumors going around we might see Type-C. It's going to be a better display. And I'm not sure what they're going to do with the R series or, you know, the 11, what's going to be the successor. Are they going to give us a 1080p display instead of 720p, a little higher? I don't know what they're going to do next year, but something tells me Apple is going to be doing some big things next year for 2020 on their new iPhones. And I know it's a long way to go, but I'm willing to wait it out. And there's nothing wrong with your iPhone XR. I can tell you guys that right now. Unless it's cracked and you maybe want that camera upgrade, then go ahead, maybe. But in terms of performance and in terms of iOS support, you have nothing to worry about. So yeah, I would say the upgrade is not necessary if you have an XR, but if you have an iPhone 7 or if you have something earlier than that, the iPhone 6 or 5S, this is going to be a big upgrade. This is going to be a big upgrade from the screen size to the all screen design. Like everything is going to be so new to you guys. But other than that, that is the iPhone 11. I'm so happy that Apple is still releasing cheaper iPhones. Like this iPhone has helped keeping the iPhone sales alive because it's very, very popular. I think this is going to be a hot sell. This is going to be a hot Christmas product this year. I recommend waiting next year, but if you cannot wait and you need it, you just need an iPhone as an emergency, this is a good upgrade, and this is an excellent phone as you expect from Apple. Apple is known for making quality products, and this here is no exception. The aluminum is made out of 100% recycled aluminum, so that's also good too. Now, if you plan on getting any iPhone this year, you want to invest in this glass screen protector because if you look at it closely, you're going to see some micro scratches. It might be a little hard to see. So I literally just wiped off the display. Look how many micro scratches that the iPhone 11 has already. And I'm just putting it in my pocket, no case, raw dog. And it's crazy on how much scratches you have already. Now, from the right lighting, you're not going to see anything, but you're going to see it if you look at it closely. Alright guys, that pretty much concludes my review of the iPhone 11. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, I appreciate it with a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on and comment down below what you guys think. Are you going to upgrade or are you going to wait next year? I think next year, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be the one. That's the one.